Today is an unfortunately timed video in the sense that here, episode 42 could not be more relevant in terms of what we're talking about. I'm not smiling today because it's a difficult topic. Just minutes ago, Mayor of St. Andrews, Brad Henderson, posted how over the weekend the Shamcook Stone Church was vandalized quite severely. Once again, he put out a call for help, confident that the RCMP will do what they do well and what they do best in terms of investigating and apprehending the perpetrators of that. But this is a tiring theme, and that is why it is number five, last but not least by any means, in the solutions that I want to bring to Saint Croix as your MLA, the public safety piece. And so, what I wanted to do today, and that's what's so interesting, is if you watched yesterday, I said I wanted to trace a bit of the history of questions around why are we feeling more unsafe. I wanted to focus on Brad Henderson because he has been so vocal and such an advocate of the greater community, not just St. Andrews, in order to help us feel safer, in order to catalyze the people who need to be in charge of helping us feel this way. And then Brad posted that today, literally, like I said, just minutes ago, about how he was helping the minister move the baptismal font that was damaged in the vandalism. And so, really, this goes back to 2022. And I did put up that graphic yesterday about how, in terms of crime severity index, New Brunswick, the province of New Brunswick as a whole, is the highest in Atlantic Canada and 10 to 15 points higher than the national average. That's not a club you want to be a part of. In 2022, Macadam Mayor Ken Stanix, there was a community meeting. He was quoted in the media as saying, people do not feel confident anymore that the police are going to help when they are needed. This is not the fault of the RCMP, I would say. The officers work very hard. I know some of them. I call them friends. They are working hard for us. But like any job, if you are not resourced, if you are not given enough, you cannot do the job well. And so, mayors 2022, St. Stephen, we started seeing break-ins. We started seeing incidents around businesses. The BIA area was getting vandalized on our main street in St. Stephen. And around the same time, Brad Henderson, the mayor of St. Andrews, also came out and said that the public no longer feels confident that the police will be able to help. This erosion of confidence in the people who keep us safe, of course, leads to vigilante issues, as we saw on Deer Island, people needing to take responsibility, take things into their own hands in order to feel protected and protect their loved ones and make our community feel safe. It is an erosion. It is not ideal in any way. This is just what we are seeing. Mr. Henderson had a meeting with Chris Austin, the provincial minister of public safety, early in 2023, and there was discussion around helping us feel safer, helping confidence return to the RCMP. But by July, little had happened, and he posted an excellent open letter to Chris Austin, requesting support, saying we need help in our community. And from that letter, which you can read online, it's still there, a meeting was set for September with the minister, with Chris Austin and Mr. Henderson, and they sat down. And in the letter, Brad Henderson is quoted as saying he's aware that there are other issues. There's a lack of addictions services. There is a lack of shelter. There are services lacking that he understands are contributing to people's desperation and breaking into cars and businesses and homes. Never to excuse it, of course, but to say we know that there are root causes and social issues causing this. Well, in the meeting, in that fall meeting, with Chris Austin, with other mayors and other community members. It was quite a community event. Lots was brought up, but Brad Henderson had some very salient questions that I have focused on as a resident of Saint Croix and now hoping to be your MLA. He asked some specific questions. For example, Horizon has a mobile health unit. Could we, a crisis response unit, mobile crisis response unit, given the rash of issues that we see in Charlotte County right now, could we have a mobile crisis unit from Charlotte County brought into our region to assist the RCMP with timely response? That was one of his questions. Another question that Brad Henderson asked was the removal of the courthouse, was that an issue that could be revisited? And I've talked about that many times. In 2015, we lost our courthouse here, and we are seeing the repercussions of that. Is there a way to redress that and perhaps bring a courthouse back, which I 100% want to work on as your MLA? The third thing he asked was that he's aware of a $20 million funding increase in the provincial budget for policing, specifically for officers, and he wanted to know when we would see a difference. What does that mean to Charlotte County and our riding of Saint Croix specifically? The answer came a little later to one of those things. First of all, there's no answer to the mobile crisis unit. We have not seen any movement on that. I don't think he's gotten an answer either. The courthouse, of course, that is still sitting there, nothing happening, no movement forward with our current MLA or the province. And with that $20 million of extra officers throughout the province, we are going to see one more officer in our Regional Service Commission, number 10. That is our area where we live. We get one more officer. Hopefully, that will be filled over the next 2 years, which will bring our current number of 35 officers up to 36 by the end of 2026. If you believe that these measures are enough to help us feel safe and that our current MLA is doing everything they can and our current provincial government is doing everything they can, then you will, of course, vote to return them to power. If you are feeling, though, that things are not improving and that we are not feeling safer, you will vote for change. And I, for one, will not go along with this status quo. I will help the mayors. I will help bring community leaders together because we need to address this problem. Tomorrow, I want to talk more about the three enforcement bodies that we have in our region and other things we can do to help us feel safer. But my heart goes out to every member of the community, and of course to Brad, who very personally posted that message today about himself helping the minister move a vandalized baptismal font that one of his children was baptized in. We have to see change, and voting green is the color of change. And as a resident, I want to see us feel